Good day, Bashar.
And to you, good day.
All right. Well, I have a couple questions today. Last time I spoke with you, we spoke about belief and enlightenment.
Yes, I believe that's true.
Yes. And when we were talking about it, what you were saying was that enlightened people such as Buddha or Krishna or Jesus, they went beyond belief and into knowing of themselves.
Yes.
So kind of playing on that, like after we had that conversation, I read the book Autobiography of a Yogi.
Yes.
And in it, he talks about some of his experiences with enlightened people in India.
Yes.
And some of those experiences included, making objects manifest instantly, or it included levitation.
Yes.
What belief, like, they would understand...
Knowing.
So they would know that reality is an illusion.
Yes.
So because it's an illusion, they don't need any beliefs to then impose upon reality. So is it their will that could materialize an object instantly, or...
You can call it will, but it's again just a knowing. In other words, it's an observation. It's an understanding of how things work.
Right.
In the same way that you might look at a red rose and I would say, well, what color is it? And you will go, well, it's red. It's not an opinion. It's not a belief. It's an observation.
Mm-hmm.
You just know that it's red. Therefore, it's not about imposing will. It's just about knowing the reality and knowing what it can be.
Right. So when I'm thinking about this, when it comes to the belief systems, because it seems like when you're following your passion, which is normally the answer to a lot of the questions that are the formula.
It's the primary formula, yes.
However, at a certain point, it seems that would be also coming from maybe not just an ego perspective, but does enlightenment include the ego, or is it just using the ego?
The ego is nothing more than a mask that allows you to perceive manifestations of physical reality. That's all the ego is. If you're referring to the negative ego, that's a different story. But the ego is just a diving mask that allows you to see clearly in the environment that you've dove into.
I see. So, okay.
It's a pass-through structure.
So what would be... So the process, if we were to talk about enlightenment as a process, so some of the people that may have gone through and had enlightenment, like the people spoken about in Autobiography of a Yogi, what would a process like that look like? They just have this
realization? It can look like almost anything, because each and every one of you has a unique process.
Okay.
So it can look like whatever works for you. Now, some people will follow generalized cultural processes that might work for many of them because they understand they're part of that culture. It's their reference point, and therefore they know that that's the permission slip that can work best for them. But again, it still comes down to an individual way of doing that. Even though they may be following the dictates of a culture, they're still going to do it their way. There might be a very slight difference, but a difference there will be because they're a different person.
So for that process, most of it would be awareness.
Awareness of what reality really is. Awareness that you're creating it. Awareness of how it works. Understanding what we call the instruction manual. So that when you understand it as an observation of the structure of existence, then it's not a mystery that by following the instructions, things happen. Because that's the way it works. It's that level of knowing. It's that level of understanding. It's that level of seeing what is.
What would be a process to get to that state?
Follow your passion.
Okay.
Because that brings you, through synchronicity, whatever information you need to continue toward the idea of full enlightenment. It's a self-guiding, self-perpetuating, self-navigating, self-expanding formula that will allow you to realize your full potential of enlightenment and awareness.
Okay, thank you.